Guys, we're back. New outfits. It's a different day. Same video.
Nah, can't
Editing.
tell with me.
Joel
Oh
just
man.
actually sat in front of the camera until we recorded again.
I've
Yes.
been here the whole time. I never changed.
I just
New
never
tank top.
left.
Can you tell?
So we've got to get into this. We'll just start off with the next movie. Naruto Shippuden, the movie Bonds. Also, you guys may have not noticed, Christian's not here. He did record his response. That's probably playing right now. Boom.
So I'm gonna have to place this movie in the I gotta put it in Genin for Bonds. I watched it. I remember watching this like ages ago, and like when it first came out, because I was like, oh yeah, Sasuke was like the intro, and like he is in this movie, but it's like he appears as much as this in this movie as he does like the entire series. Like he kind of just sprinkles, like
He just pops in.
yeah, pops in, pops out, and I've seen it twice because I watched it on my own, and then we did it was like an accidental like watch party kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the first time I watched, I was like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty cool. But the second time I watched it, I was like, I needed to reevaluate some things.
The cracks start to show up a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, I think so. During your second watch, the villain, I like the villain, and I think there's a lot of themes that echo in this movie that echo in Stone of Galel when it comes to the bad guy having this like protege, and you find out that the bad guy who was pretending to be good actually destroyed the village of their own protege and tried to like pawn it off as like an accident. But in this movie, it does hit a little bit harder because you have the protege, I forgot her name, and the villain, again, I forgot his name. They called him Doctor in the in the English dubbed. So I felt like their relationship was better than the relationship in Stone of Galel, but overall, it was just okay. Nothing really, like things just happen. It's
Yeah.
one of those movies. It was cool to see Sasuke. They try to hit home with the "Oh, I'm going to bring you next, Sasuke" kind of thing, but Sasuke is again unfazed by everything. Like he has that resting like face where it's like nothing phases him, and it's really funny. But that's where I would put it. It's not a bad movie, but when it comes to Naruto films, it's definitely in Genin. Like I think the first Naruto movie obviously is much better, but yeah, this one takes a bit of a dip.
So first movie, Naruto Shippuden, the movie Bonds, the Land of the Sky, new village as far as I'm aware. The Land of the Sky plans to attack Konoha as an act of vengeance after their battle during the Second Great Ninja War. A boy, quote unquote, named Amaru comes to warn the Leaf Village,
Super
and a
confused.
team
Go
of
on.
Naruto, Hinata, and Sakura must work with the child. This film takes place right after episode 71 of Naruto Shippuden. If it was canon, it's still filler. Joel, I want your thoughts though. What were your opinions on Bonds? It's a weird one.
Bonds. Bonds was fine. Um, I didn't like it as much as Naruto the movie. Naruto Shippuden the movie.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't think it was that terrible. Even though I was confused with the boy, who we eventually find out was not a boy. But the whole time I'm thinking, like as soon as I heard him, as soon as I saw him, and the whole time they kept saying he, and then eventually I'm like, bro, there's no way it's a boy. Like, it doesn't even sound like a boy. Like, I'm so confused. Then eventually, obviously, the reveal. Because the whole way they had me too. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, I fucking knew it was a girl. It was killing me. Um, but yeah, I thought it was all right. The villain was weird. The sky, I like the hang gliding trick. That was pretty cool with the sky people, but it was kind of forgettable, unfortunately. But it's kind of what it was. It wasn't great, but again, I wouldn't call it Sakura's homemade food pills. I don't know if it was there.
That's
So
fair.
skinning is probably where I lay.
Beginning.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I I guess my opinions on Bonds. It's like we said in the last batch of movies, a lot of stuff is just kind of happening. Like, who is the Land of Sky? What's up with this random grudge with Konoha? Um, what is Sasuke doing in this movie? It feels like Sasuke kind of just had to be in the movie because he was missing for 50 episodes of Shippuden. And
Yeah,
it's like, we got Sasuke back in the story. We got to put him in the movie. It'd be weird if he wasn't in the movie.
badass
And like,
Sasuke moments to
yeah,
begin and end.
yeah, it's very weird and random. So I'm probably leaning towards Guinea as well. But I want your thoughts, Didge.
Oh, this movie was bad. I mean, the I, I guess what's her name? Amaru? I forgot it
Yeah,
already.
Yeah,
Amara.
Her whole love for the doctor was kind of problematic if we're
that's what.
being honest.
That's another
That
I
reason I
forgot
was
about
so
that
that.
confused
that
about the
was
whole.
really weird.
It was kind of weird. Like you were into this doctor. Like,
Yeah, like that
like,
that was really weird if we're being honest. Sasuke was, like you said, was just there just to be there.
yeah.
I don't know. Is this their flying technique was kind of weird. Like it was like hang gliding, but not because like she was able to use it at the end, and she clearly doesn't have any chakra. Like I didn't
Mhm.
understand. Like she couldn't use. It was just weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad enough to, like you said, be Sakura's homemade food pills, but it's pretty firmly in Guinea. Like very firm there. There's no hopes of it moving.
Jamie, we already off the bat know where this is getting placed. Your vote, even if you move it to Hokage, will probably not move it out of Guinea. But I want your opinion anyway. Where are you on Bonds?
Yep, there's no worry about any controversy with this one. I would also agree that this deserves a slot in Guinea, possibly the last slot, like closer to Sakura's food pills more than anything.
Yeah.
It was a very strange movie, and honestly, I'm glad you read the description because I was literally like, did I watch this film? Like, I know I watched it,
We
but did
watched it
I?
together.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's how
did.
bad. I was like, did I? I don't remember anything about this.
Incredible.
Until we started talking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, the doctor being the bad guy because I knew I called this out while we were watching the movie because like he died like very early on, and then I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's for sure the villain now. He's for sure the villain now, and sure enough, he came back. He's like, I'm evil. I think
Remember when Hinata just disappeared?
That
oh
is so
yeah, oh
weird.
my god,
We had so many questions.
Why did they
She
have
was
her
just
come
gone.
along? Like, it
that was
weird.
crazy.
They needed somebody to get captured. That's
Yeah,
why.
That's exactly what it was.
And we couldn't make
Wow.
it Sakura. That's just like
It's too on the
she's
nose.
She was
she's
barely
been
in it
through
either.
enough.
Yeah.
Yep, so Hanada getting kidnapped, nobody really mentioning it, and then she's all of a sudden with all the kidnapped village people. The doctor pretty much turning into like Raditz or like Goku. That
Well,
was probably the most fun I had with the movie, but it still was like, what is going on?
The fake
Um
tailed beast that they had in it was rough.
The
Like
Zero Tails. Oh my
yeah. Oh, I
god.
forgot about that too. There's just so
yeah.
much. Why?
I
Why?
love how I love how Sasuke's like, Orochimaru wanted me to come down here. And then he's just like, I guess I'm dying with Naruto.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, man, this is what is happening here.
That film was a mess. Yeah, getting.
Okay, I want to take a second to just look at the Guinea tier. And are we sure it's not worse than those other two before we move on?
let's see.
Not for me.
No, it's worse
Okay.
than it's worse than some of these.
I don't know.
I might change
full
mine to
screen.
Sakura's homemade food pills.
I can't put it there because
Stone of Galel and Crystal Moon or whatever the other one was called.
Those were bad, but
Yeah.
this was worse. You know what? No, because I already got something else today that I'm for sure putting there. So I
mean, we can leave it. And
Yeah, we can leave
I'm
it
just
for-
making
we
sure
can
we
leave it for now.
reevaluate this.
no, we can leave it for now.
We will. I fully expect this to be in Sakura's homemade food pills by the end of this. We'll let
All right.
Christian get back here to help
All
make
right,
that decision
fair.
in the next video.
That's fair.
But it's not good. What is good, in my opinion, Will of Fire. I think Will of Fire is a pretty good Naruto movie. Probably one of the better Naruto movies we're going to cover. during this show. This takes place after episode 121 of Naruto Shippuden. The Will of Fire sees ninjas with Kikagenkai abilities disappearing across the globe. Kakashi, having a Kikagenkai, the Sharingan, is likely their next target. Naruto must save his sensei's life, and this story will test just how strong Naruto's Will of Fire truly is. I'm going to toss to you, Didge, because I know how you feel about the phrase Will of Fire, which is the entire premise of this movie. What were your thoughts on this one?
So first off, I was going to go Jonin for this movie. I actually did like this movie. I think the premise was interesting of taking the ninja with Kekkei Genkai to sort of create a I don't like a bomb. I don't know what he was trying to create, but whatever he was, something that was going to essentially help him take over the world.
Yeah.
That all of that was very interesting. But one, they use the will of fire at the end of like every sentence, and it bothered me so much. I was so irritated by it. And then as we were watching it, we all came up with a better way to I guess solve this before rather than having Kakashi potentially sacrifice himself and just lock him away. So because of
Yeah.
those two reasons, I got to give it tuning because it bothered me so much and their way of trying to solve this, we figured out a better way in like 2 minutes. So I get it was for plot, but still.
Didge. I disagree with that one.
Ooh.
I disagree.
Let us have it.
I will put this at Hokage. I feel like it's the best Naruto movie that we've seen so far, at least. It might possibly just be the best one. I don't know. We haven't had a streak of very good films. This might be the best one. It was like put together start from finish, a little bit simple with the story, but at least it was a story and it made sense.
At least it was a story.
That's so tragic.
It is.
That's
It really
so
is.
tragic. Oh,
The bar is kind of low. But I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was Naruto at his best, where he's kind of supporting his friends. He do anything for the village, do anything for Kakashi Sensei. So I liked it. I like getting to see all the different ninja and stuff as well. Everybody kind of came and supported this in their own way, and in a way that made sense. Nobody just like showed up at the end or was like kidnapped, and suddenly we remember they were kidnapped. So it's admittedly a low bar, but so far, I gotta put some respect on this one. I'm putting one in for Hokage.
Dang.
Wow.
Joel, do you have anything to say besides wow?
I don't have it at Hokage. Probably where I'm going to start with. But I did
Fair.
I liked it probably the most of the three, for sure. Um,
Yeah.
and I also loved seeing everybody there, all the teams. It kind of felt like a movie that fit within the series. Kind of
Mhm.
like it felt like
The
it's not a
Avengers.
stretch. It didn't feel like it was like random, like a random incident. It kind of felt like it would have fit in seamlessly with the rest of the show, which I
It feels
appreciate.
like another mission that they would
Right.
actually be on, as opposed to time travel. We're seeing different people,
Right.
when we
It
get into
was
later.
weird. But yeah, I did like that. I like that. I loved seeing everybody. Everything made sense. It was coherent. Everybody got their moment to shine too and got fight. I love all that when everyone gets a chance to shine a little bit.
It's filler though when Tintin gets a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
Hey, not too much on
But
Tintin, man. She has it rough enough.
Well, I'm saying she got to do something.
She's
So it's
definitely
like, hey,
the last rank when you're talking about Naruto classmates. but I enjoyed it a lot. But I don't. Again, I have to see the rest before I can vote anything super high. Um,
No, I don't.
I do. I got. I can't. I can't.
Do you?
Well, it depends on how it hits. It didn't hit that. So I'm like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. That's what to me Hokage would be. The best thing.
I mean, if we're being realistic, none of these would be the best thing I've ever seen.
Well, that's why I'm not putting
in
it
this
at the top.
context of these movies. That was the best one so far.
It's good. Like I'll probably put it up there with I don't know if I could make it a Jonin either. But
Damn,
uh,
y'all are stingy with the Jonin.
yeah, I mean, I don't think I put anything at Jonin.
I didn't either. I got outvoted for the one that made it there.
I got
Somebody
Chunin.
gotta be up there, man.
Well, I mean, I gotta finish watching them, and then maybe I can change my mind after that. At the moment, I'm gonna leave it at Chunin, but that's just my opinion. It's not getting it. It's either
Hokage is just a
it's
high
between Jonin
ranking.
and Chunin. Hokage is high. That's why I'm like, that's too much. I can live with Jonin, but Hokage is too much
Fair. I could have lived with Jonin too.
because it might be one of the better ones. It's I
That's what
can't.
I
I
was
won't. I can't.
saying.
I can't. I can't say that. I haven't seen the others.
We only
If
got four
we,
more after we talk
yeah,
about the next
Well,
one.
I'll
But I've
find
seen
out.
3 of the
decided
last
on
4.
this,
That's
I'd
so
be
that.
shocked.
We'll see. We'll see. See where I'm at.
I loved this movie. I think it's the best out of the three of this wave that we're recovering or covering all together because
Yeah.
it gives you a overall look at everyone in the Leaf Village, what their will of fire is. Everyone gets their time to shine in this movie, and it was a banger, and it really shows the bond between Kakashi and Naruto, how important that bond is to
Yeah.
Naruto, and especially when it comes to the bells of their very first practice mission that Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura were with when it came to Kakashi, and it showed Naruto really took that to heart, and we know that he takes things to heart, but it really shows how important Kakashi is Naruto, and then this big intellect like argument between Shikamaru and Naruto, like them saying, Kakashi is doing this for the greater good, for the greater for to protect the children of the village. And he's like, well, how can you, set that as an example to the children by saying, oh yeah, well, we sacrificed one of our own to keep you guys safe. And I get that point, sacrifice the few to save the many, but Naruto's like, no, no one has to die. No one needs to die because that's not his will of fire, and that's not what Kakashi Sensei taught him.
That's not his ninja way, right?
It's not his ninja way. Which it was a good movie. It was a banger. I was like, okay. And then you had the villain who was kind of like oh yeah, there was also this other random ninja during the time that Kakashi and the legendary three Sanin were there. They just kind of made him a villain on the spot, but it works because it had a bit personal connection. But
yeah, he's kind of Orochimaru, but he's not Orochimaru.
yeah. It's like, okay, there's a guy out there. They're like, yeah, we'll just throw in some random, during that time where Kakashi and everyone were kids, people just died all the time. You had Rin, you had Obito, and it's like, let's just throw in another, and it's another non-canon movie, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I love the second I realized it was not when I realized, but the second that you're in a non-canon story is when it's like Tintin now, and she has an ultimate move. It's just like we're in filler, baby. Tintin's important.
Yeah, but I would put this in tuning myself. Definitely tuning for the Will of Fire.
Christian also gives it a tuning.
Let's go.
Damn, Christian.
Xbox.
So that's what 3 votes for tuning.
Yeah.
1 vote for Hokage, and I'm going Jonin for this one.
Okay.
Let's pull it up to Jonin.
I think Jonin is a good placement. Again, as somebody who knows what the rest of the films look like, I feel like there's only a couple more that are better than this one. So I think by default that puts it at Jonin. And the next one we're going to talk about definitely isn't better. So
no, I got a solid 2 of the last 4 are for sure better than this one. So that's fair.
So that would, if it is Jonin, that means that they're a Hokage. That's what you have to remember when you're saying that.
You know what?
I mean,
I'm not mad
I already
at
know
that.
which one. I already know which ones I'm putting in Hokage.
I'm not mad at that. There are 2 that I would put at Hokage, and
Okay.
I just haven't seen.
I'm
one
just
of the
saying. All right, if you're comfortable, just remember that if you're gonna put it at Jonin, these things that you're considering Hokage level.
That's fair. I told you, if they wouldn't have said Will of Fire every other sentence, it might have still got Jonin.
I guess, yeah. So that didn't bother me, Didge, that they kept saying Will of Fire. Maybe that's because I'm a dub watcher, but I'm used to Naruto yelling believe it every 5 sentences anyway. And so them saying Will of Fire, I'm like, yeah, that's Naruto for you. They're gonna keep repeating that same
May
phrase in my ear.
maybe I watched. I think by the time I got to Shippuden, I started watching it subbed. So like it wasn't it a catchphrase wasn't shoved down your throat the entire time.
Yeah, well, that's same with me. Like I watched Bonds in Japanese to see if it hit different,
Mhm.
and that's maybe why I liked it more than
I should
the
watch.
other one.
I should watch this
Uh,
in Japanese to see if it hits different.
it hit different for me at least. I liked it a little bit more. Maybe that's why I liked it. But I saw Will Find English, and I felt it was better
Yeah.
than Bonds. So either way,
Yeah, there's a lot to like in Will of Fire. Naruto, just as a franchise, doesn't focus on a lot of the supporting characters. Not that
Mhm.
this one does much either, but like it made sure Kiba and Tenten and Hinata and Neji got their moment. Even Rock Lee
Yeah.
didn't get a ton, but like he even questions his mission if he would do this for his own sensei. And I like that we gave them a little personality, not much, but more than even canon Naruto does, because we're
Right.
always following Naruto, Sakura, Sai, Yamato,
Mhm.
Kakashi, right? In Shippuden. That's the squad we're following.
Right.
So to see
New
glimpses
Team
of these
Seven.
other characters, yeah, we don't see them work together that often. And so I think that really worked. I don't love Kakashi in this movie, which is what would keep
Nah.
it from Hokage.
He's a zombie
Because
most
like,
of the movie.
yeah, like Kakashi's smarter than this, you know? And it's like I feel like him, Tsunade, and Shikamaru would have come up with a way better plan to figure this out. Jiraiya's still here. They could have just beat this guy. Like Naruto beats this guy and he didn't even throw the dang shuriken at him, you
Right.
know? So that's where I get where Didge is coming from, where it's like compared to everything else, it's a way better put together movie, but it still has those things holding it back. But
Yeah.
in on the Naruto scale, I think Jonin is fine because
That's fair.
it's not going to be Hokage, but it's still way better than everything else we've gotten this
Yep.
far.
That's coherent.
Works for
Hokage
me.
was wild.
I could live.
You know,
Where would
I
we?
compared to you guys, I haven't seen the rest of these, so I'm like,
Same, same.
based on what I've seen so far, this is the best one.
That's
That
fair.
is that's
That
a
is
fair
fair.
scale. I mean, you've seen a lot of them up to
Uh,
this point. We're like over halfway through.
Yeah.
Right.
Compared to the
I
others,
had
it
to,
is.
now that we're halfway, I had to throw something up there. I had to try at least.
Oh wait, oh wait, oh wait.
3 Chunin, 1 Hokage, 1 Jonin. Where the heck would that place this? In between Chunin and Jonin?
I mean, I think it's for sure Jonin at that point. Because if you're figuring like, I guess giving them point rankings, you got like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think the 5 and the 4 probably bump it up past the 3 average. I guess.
Jordan's fine.
I'll live with that. Jonin.
There we go.
Hokage
boy.
was still wild.
Listen, man.
I get
Listen.
it. I just want to know if once we finish all of them, I want to revisit it then to see if you still say Hokage.
I mean,
Look-
hopefully, these guys are saying there are 2 other movies that are better. Hopefully, I will see what you guys are saying and be like, oh yeah, no, Hokage was wrong.
Because that's when it is. That's when it's really wild. When it's like if you just, at the end of all just like, yeah, no, this is Hokage. Then it's like, whoa, okay.
I mean, I still think it's top 3 Naruto movies. So even if we
I mean, but
actually
that's
put it in
not-
Hokage, I don't feel terrible about it.
That's wild.
We'll see.
We
We'll
We
see.
shall
will.
see.
Yeah, 4 more movies. I'm gonna love Blood Prison.
Oh gosh. Last movie here is Naruto Shippuden the movie, The Lost Tower. Team 7 attempts to capture a ninja named Mukade, and the mission ends with Naruto and Yamato being sent 20 years into the past. Here, Naruto needs the help of the 4th Hokage and a younger Kakashi to return home. This film takes place right before episode 143 of Naruto Shippuden.
Like I would know what that is. If I can remember what that is.
Episode 143? I can pull that up. right now, actually, on
Wow.
Crunchyroll.
Sheesh.
Uh,
That's right before I just looked it up. That's right before Sasuke and Taka they go to fight the or Killer Bee.
Oh wow. I know
That's
it's
right.
after. I know it's after Pain because they mention it basically. Well, with
Did they mention it? I
Well,
missed that,
no,
and
they
that makes me
meant
even more mad.
no. They didn't mention the Pain fight. They mentioned what's his name?
Jiraiya
Mariah
is
died dead.
Okay, yeah, no, that part I do know because that,
So
that goes
that
a lot into my ranking. That goes
alright.
a lot into my ranking.
Jiraiya just fought Pain
Okay, so it's recent.
like 2
Yeah.
episodes before this movie,
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
which helps a lot with the complaints Didge and I had about this movie
it does, but it
because
doesn't
it's
help
like
enough.
not enough, but
But it does help a lot.
So I knew it was
oh
around. I
man,
knew it was around that time period. I'm just not sure where. And I definitely don't remember what 143 was. So I was like, okay, I just know
yeah,
it's after Jiraiya died. So I was like,
This
all right,
might be the start of their fight with Killer Bee because, like, if you look at the Wikipedia for it, actually the title of 143 is the Eight Tails versus Sasuke, so it's clearly got to be the start of the
I
fight.
remember that episode. To be fair, it was like crazy.
cinema.
Yeah,
He
that
had to
was a good
keep
episode.
he had to keep healing with Kari and have to keep biting her. It was ridiculous.
It was
That's
fun.
such a weird power set, by the way.
It's
But
Oh
it
anyway,
is.
yeah,
um, Lost Tower. I guess I'll go first.
do it.
This was bad. It was very bad. It doesn't have hardly any redeeming qualities for me. Minato is in the movie. Minato's always cool. He's utilized way better in other stories, in other movies, maybe. But he's not like it's weird because it's Naruto acts out of character, like he's stupid, but like
Stupid
he
stupidness.
he doesn't use abilities that he should have in this movie. Like in Will of Fire, he uses a Rasen Shuriken. In this movie, he never once attempts to do that,
At the
and it
very
would
end,
have
he does.
sure.
Too
But no, it's
It's
bad. You're right. We were
it,
mad.
it's bad, and so I I don't think the supporting characters were good. Like one of the strengths of Will of Fire was that supporting cast, seeing Team 10, seeing Team 7, right, seeing Team 8. We don't get that, even though I feel like we should, because we're in a time period where Kakashi, Jiraiya, Obito, Rin, Minato, Kushina, Might Guy, like we have all of these characters in their prime or as around Naruto's age, like 16 years old, and we just don't do anything with it. We're just with some random princess, I guess. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's Sakura's homemade food pills for me.
Wow.
I concur. I 100% concur. I just looked it up. He should be in the middle of his art learning Sage mode. He should have been able to use it. Because one, it's also why are you pulled away randomly in the middle of your training to go do this random mission?
Yeah.
And it's like because he wasn't with the team when he was learning any of that, so that doesn't help.
Well, it
You
really
said
depends. Did Sage Mode exist at the time this movie came out?
I would
Like
Yeah,
what?
assume
because
It
so.
was right
Yeah,
after
Jiraiya's
Jiraiya
dead.
had it. Yeah, Jiraiya. Yeah, if Jiraiya's
Yeah,
dead,
Yeah, Jiraiya's dead.
so yeah, it had to.
Did he use it
Yeah.
yet though?
I don't necessarily know if Naruto would be comfortable enough using it. And that's the weird
Fair,
thing about these movies is that they're not canon.
right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't like you can hypothetically say Naruto didn't learn Sage Mode yet. But we know for sure from the last movie, he knew how to throw a dang shuriken, and he doesn't do it in this
Doesn't-
movie.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
and so it's like I don't know. It feels like in these films he will forever be the 11-year-old from the original Naruto series.
Mhm.
Like his maturity level isn't quite there, his abilities aren't there, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
You said Yamato went to the past with him. We didn't find that out. Well, we
And
saw it. We saw it happen, and then we just didn't see him until like the very end of the movie. And it was, oh yeah, I found him passed out outside. And it's like, what is that even?
the
What were you
whole
doing?
time,
Like, what is going on here?
man, took a
And
long ass nap.
it was just things happened just to happen in this movie. It felt like I don't know if they just had an extra budget and they were like, look, throw a movie at it so we can keep getting the budget, but
Yeah.
nothing felt like it needed to be there. Like this movie just felt like it was just like, hey, you like these characters, right? Let's throw a story at them. So I do agree with Mike. Sakura's homemade food pills. This movie was bad, and I thought some of the other ones were bad. This was bad.
I was trying to think like, is this worse than the oh my god, what's the name of it? The
Bonds, Stone of
Bonds?
Belial,
Yeah,
Crescent
Bonds.
Moon.
I was trying to think, was it worse than Bonds? I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it's so hard to say. But I would not argue with Sakura's homemade food pills. This one definitely, it didn't have a lot of redeeming qualities, and just, yeah, it was, y'all said it all. It wasn't great.
He didn't know how to fight Puppet Ninja.
Yeah,
That's a
Oh,
thing
and the
where I'm like,
sword. What was that about?
why wasn't Sakura brought with Naruto? She fights Sasori at the beginning of Shippuden, and his whole shtick is puppets, and she became a master at countering puppets.
that was a great fight.
That
It's
that one
one of
was a great
Sakura's
fight,
it's one of Sakura's greatest moments in the entire series,
and they were
and I
just
love it.
nah.
I love it because she's the laughing stock of Naruto. And
Yeah.
Shippuden first arc, it's like we're gonna make it a Sakura arc, and you are going to start respecting this character. And it's like, great. Why don't we build on that plot point and that element and have her with Naruto fighting these puppets and saving this nation with Minato? But nope, Naruto's
So
alone. Doesn't even team up with Kid Kakashi. That could have been funny.
Wow, yeah,
definitely could have. We didn't
that's
even know he was there till like halfway through, like close to
yeah,
the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you get the backstory, you're like,
Yeah.
right.
It wasn't
Um,
played well.
it was a movie. I liked some of the elements of it. Like I did
Please
like.
tell me what they are, because I need to know something good about this movie.
Well, I like Minato, and I liked the group that he was with. I like seeing that background of them being a team. Like at
Yeah.
first, I thought it was literally Choji and them. Then I realized it wasn't. It's like their grandparents or whatever the fuck, or their
Yeah,
parents.
they're dads.
Yeah, their dads. Yeah, it was like I'm like, oh, that's cool. I did like that. I wish I got to see more of that. And young Kakashi, even though it was like midway through, we found that out. It was cool to see that too.
Mhm.
Um, I just felt like it was a waste. It was a boring story, and it was one that
Yeah.
was kind of wasted a good idea on that story. That was kind of disappointing. That like, wow, they did something I was interested in possibly seeing one day, but this story was not worth wasting that moment. Like the fact that he didn't even realize it. Now he never saw his father, so I get it, and then realize it
Yeah.
to the very end. But you got to piece shit together. Like, how do you not notice his guys don't
See,
look very familiar?
that
That
was frustrating because
I'm like, bro.
I felt like in the like towards the middle he was like, oh, like my dad had something like this. Wait, let me talk to you. And then like it's almost like he forgot that moment happened. I was like, what the heck?
it's
Once he was told that it was like a time travel thing, I'm like, that had to kick in your head. Like, this guy, I gotta feel it. Right? Like,
To the movie's credit, when I looking back at seeing what episode this takes place during,
mhm,
Naruto has not met his father or known anything about his
right.
father
That's why I
yet.
didn't
That's like
completely.
3 episodes from now, which makes it even more frustrating if this was canon.
Yeah, and then they make him
But
forget at the end,
right,
which was fine because I figured they had to do some weird gimmick at the end
that was
with
the
him
most
forgetting.
redeeming part, though.
Yeah,
Like at least they tried to make it make sense within canon by making them forget at the end.
yeah, but it was still kind of like.
It was no.
Like he was like completely like blind to everything, like not policing. And Kakashi was standing. I know he's little and young, but you can't tell me he don't look like someone you know, right? He looks just like him without covering the other eye. I'm like, he was kind of oblivious the whole time.
it
Um,
would have this movie would have been better if that was the plot, right? Like Naruto is stuck here, and now he has to like mentor Kakashi, and like that dynamic has been
that would be
flipped.
funny, yeah.
That would have been
Yeah,
so
That's what I
funny.
mean. It's a waste of a good idea. This movie is a
Yeah,
waste of a good idea. That's my opinion. So it's my
I
least favorite of the three.
I did
we're
think of one redeeming quality. I did like the backgrounds and stuff. I thought the
Oh
backgrounds
yeah,
were,
the city itself is cool. I liked all
yeah,
of it.
that's fair.
yeah,
that's
It's not
set
it.
enough.
design. Set design is very different from what we've seen in Naruto. There was a
No.
very distinct lack of trees this time
Yes,
around,
it's all very yeah, concrete jungle.
which is neat. That is cool. Not enough at all to save this movie. Joel, where are you putting it?
Oof. Yeah, it was worse than Bonds. So I mean, automatically by math, that's right. So it would make it Saka's homemade food. But again, I did the quality, the things I did like about it, I did like, but I felt
Yeah,
a lot of it was just wasted. You know,
that's fair. We only have four more to go.
What did
Blood
Christian rate
Prison.
it? I don't think you said.
Oh, well, yeah. This is what Christian had to say.
I think this movie is canon because of what happens at the very end, where everyone loses their memories of going into the past of the village hidden in the leaves. I think it was like what 10, 15 years? I don't know. Well, no, because it's a Shippuden movie, so Naruto is older, so it wasn't too long ago. I think it was like
He
20.
goes into the past, and we see like young Kakashi, and this is Kakashi even before Kurama attacks the village, right? Because
Right.
he's like Obito is dead and Rin are dead by the time that happens.
Yeah. Mhm.
So this had to have been even further before that. So
I think
I don't
so.
know how many years this was. Maybe 20.
I think 20. I think 20 is about on the spot because, like we said, it is a Shippuden movie, so Naruto is a bit older. So it's not like it's kid Naruto going to the past. But there was one great scene towards the end with Naruto and his father, and everyone. But anytime that like Minato's on screen, everyone's like, "Oh, who's that?" They try to make him so mysterious. I'm like, we see the hair. it's this man's father. When they
There are
first
only three blonde characters, I think, in the entirety of Naruto, and two of them are related. And I still not convinced that Minato is not related to Tsunade somehow.
No, oh my, seriously though, it's like I don't know, it's weird, but yeah, this deals with time travel. It was okay, but it wasn't all that great. I got to put this in Sakura's homemade food pills because it was just it was I didn't really like anything about the movie. Like it was just it was kind of just there. Like that one scene at the end where Naruto's kind of like grasping on to be like, hold on, I need to talk to you. Like, it was kind of weird that Naruto didn't put two and two together earlier, but like, yeah, that was like a nice little moment. But we don't hear what Minato says to him because they do that thing where they cut out the audio and they see them speaking, but you don't hear what they say, and they don't
Right.
go back to it, so we don't really know what he says. But it was a great response what Minato said. I was like, oh man, like that hit me in the feels a little bit. I was like, dang, okay. But other than that, the movie was just not good. I didn't care about the plots. It's about this clueless princess who, again, they've reused this plot point in another Naruto movie where one of her the princess's mother was killed by an accident, and it was one of her subordinates who wants to
Yeah.
like, take over. Um, yeah, what? No, because I mean, it's just Naruto the entire movie because he's the only one who gets sucked like in the past, kind of, sort of, and then Yamato is like in this weird limbo kind of thing,
It
and
makes
then
no sense where Yamato was the entire
yeah, I
film.
was like, where is he? And like the whole movie, I guess, really takes place in like a second because when they go back, it's still Sakura yelling out for Naruto, and I'm like, oh, so it's one of those. It's like Phantom Hourglass. Like the entire game takes place in like 12 minutes, but you're playing like hours and hours upon of the game. So it's
Yeah,
like,
well, they got sent back in time. So when they came back to
oh, back
present,
to that.
yeah, this came
Okay,
right back to the same point.
yeah. I don't mind time travel when it's done well, like for something like Prisoner of Azkaban, like in the books and in the film. I
Mhm.
think Avengers Endgame did a pretty okay job with it as well. But it's done to death nowadays, and I don't know. We just haven't really. It doesn't really work in the world of Naruto, but I guess they pump out these movies so fast. Like I'm pretty sure the like between Bond Well of Fire and The Lost Tower, there's like maybe like a year or two difference between them when it comes to releases.
The differences, yeah, when it comes to release, but the differences in just plot structure kind of annoy me. Like
Mhm.
this movie came out, and he like mentions Jiraiya in past tense because Jiraiya is dead at this point in the story, right? Why doesn't he know who Minato is? Because when Jiraiya dies,
That's right.
he fights Pain,
Mm,
and he's about to pull open the seal to release Kurama, and then
mm,
Minato stops him, right?
mhm.
And so I'm like, at what point between the Pain attack and Jiraiya's death did this movie happen for him to not know who Minato is?
Maybe this movie isn't canon then, because it's like I
uh,
don't know.
I don't think it's canon, but that's the thing where I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are doing. Why can't he throw a Rasen Shuriken? He's just doing basic
Seriously,
Rasengans the entire movie. And in Will of Fire, he had a Rasen
he
Shuriken.
did. He did. He did. Yeah. I don't know where it. Like part of me wishes that these movies were a part of the lore, but I think it's better that it isn't because
Mm,
it doesn't like people don't feel obligated to watch the movies. There's a lot of these movies, but granted, they're only around an hour and 30 minutes each. So
yep.
it's not like MCU level where, you have, X amount of movies and you got to watch all of these like separate television shows where with Naruto, the main story is the show and then you have the movie. So it's kind of reversed when it comes to MCU because the MCU main storylines were the movies and then you have the shows. But I think it's better the other way around, especially for animated, because they don't take long to watch. But yeah, it's a soccer food pill for the Lost Tower. It was just weird. It's like Naruto didn't notice that like Choji's father was there or like Shino's father was there. I'm like,
He knows them. That's the thing. Like, I get him not knowing Minato if it took place in that like day, that one day where he doesn't see Minato after Jiraiya's death.
yeah,
But he knows Shikamaru and Choji's parents, and they're clearly there. And he's
yeah.
just like, He only recognized Kakashi.
Yeah, he's like Kakashi. He's like, I think Kakashi's acting like some punk kid. I was like, all right, so this dude's got a little mouth on him, but
He didn't know Pain yet. Obito and Rin are still alive, so he's still a little piece of crap.
yeah, yeah, it was okay, but yeah, out of the three, Bonds is the only one that I rewatched, but yeah, Will of Fire is definitely my favorite out of these three. But
Nice.
it is what it is. They're Naruto movies. They're not really meant to be taken seriously. Obviously, we're just doing this for fun. But yeah, there's a lot of these I will never revisit. Probably not. I don't know. It just depends.
Oof, man. I think the last three are pretty good though, so that'll be fun to get into.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the last three for sure. That's gonna be interesting. Like when we're ranking everything, because nothing's hit Hokage yet. We've had one Jonin, but I feel like that's maybe a bit premature. But then again, the first Naruto movie, the Shippuden movie, was actually pretty good.
What if he would have just been like, yeah, Jonin, amazing movie.
Easily. How big a fan of this fucking Minato are you, bro?
It would have been so fun if he's like, I know you guys are gonna put it low, so he just puts it absurdly high
Oh,
just to screw with us.
Hokage. Oh god, then that automatically is a gimme.
Exactly. Oh man.